starting out on a high note in Colorado. The first recreational marijuana stores in the U.S. opening this morning in Denver. Legal pot sales are also set to begin in Washington State later this year. Dan Springer joins us live from our Seattle bureau. Dan, so how's it going so far on this historic day?
Yeah, well, Heather, 34 stores across the state of Colorado are now selling pot legally as of about 20 minutes ago. We had been hearing predictions that people would be camping out overnight. There'd be long lines this morning. That has not happened, but there is still plenty of interest in how this huge experiment will play out. Colorado and Washington state voters passed legalized recreational marijuana in 2012, and Colorado was the first to have all the rules and regulations in place. Washington expects to have sales starting this summer. The sellers in Colorado all had been medical marijuana dispensaries. Eventually, there could be about 150 selling pot to about, to people 21 years and older. Those who have been pushing for this day for a long time say it is just the beginning.
Most Americans now think marijuana should be legal for adults, and we're seeing states around the country starting to consider these policies. Lawmakers and voters from Portland, Oregon to Portland, Maine are watching what's happening in Colorado and starting to think about passing similar laws.
And California is one of those states considering passing one of those laws. A ballot initiative could be on the ballot this November. Heather?
So is it going to be basically a free-for-all with people smoking pot in public?
Yeah, it really remains to be seen how law enforcement will treat this. Under the laws in both Colorado and Washington, smoking marijuana in public is not legal. But we've seen plenty of people in public inhaling in both states the last year. There are a lot of questions like how will employers deal with workers who smoke it legally at home and then show up at the work site with it still in their system. They have the right to fire those workers. How tough will they be at airports where it's illegal to possess any marijuana? And what about the federal government, which still considers marijuana a Schedule I drug, same as heroin? The DOJ has said it won't sue over legalization so long as the tight regulations are followed.
They're going to be watching very closely. It's very important that the marijuana does not cross state lines, that marijuana does not end up in the airports, that marijuana does not end up in the hands of children, and that the quantities really do stay very limited.
And another big question is how much tax revenue will this now legal pot generate for the state? Some have predicted in Colorado alone this first year it'll be $70 million to help build schools. And now that pot is finally legal in that state, we'll see if those predictions are true. Heather?
All right, we will see. Thank you so much for joining us for the update, and Happy New Year.
Okay, Happy New Year.